You can destroy planets, but you can never destroy what I am, friend.
Glue! So happy. Why exactly are you, Glue?
Because I'm a cat.
You are to blame for this, Satan. Why do I ever listen to you?
By the power of Grayskull.
The hell's wrong with you?
We're bad guys. It's what we do. Taylor! Don't let her get away, Mama. Don't let her live.
I won't.
Like, whoa! A talking skull! I'm so scared. I wish I had a ham sandwich to calm my nerves.
I'm not afraid.
You will be. You will be. Such heroic nonsense.
Go.
On your mark, get set, go. So here we are again. Oh wait,
No,
I
it's
didn't know you had
recorded.
I didn't know you had a monologue you starting.
No, there's no monologue.
No,
It's just-
there's no monologue.
Yeah, he's just reading with old eyes. That's. It looks
I have
like
excellent
he's
eyesight,
trying
actually.
To, you know, do something. He's just trying to find the distance. He's like. Okay. We forgot we were recording. Welcome to Podcasting from Beyond the Grave, the audio edition, where we talk longer. You've already heard us talk on videos, hopefully, and you come back for more punishment to listen to our voices. I am Jason.
And I am Donnie.
I'm Brad.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing out there?
What's the haps? What do we've had a day so far. We've done some recording of some unboxing where we unveiled problem toys, awesome toys, and okay toys.
And had a lot of fun doing it at the same time.
Yep. Yep.
Anytime that you get to open up some toys and fiddle around with them and pose them up like you want them. Oh yeah, that's a good time every time.
So this episode, we're going to pick a subject, and we're going to run with it and see how long we can go. So stay tuned for that. Brad, have we picked a subject yet?
Because he's over there in thought. You can
He's
just see the
studying.
wheels turning.
Yeah. He's like, yes, no. Yes, no. No, yes. No, no, no.
What do you say here? Cartoons based on movies.
I don't know what I meant by that.
I would imagine a cartoon based off a movie.
Oh,
Something like
okay.
Rambo, The Force for Freedom.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I would really...
Rambo.
That would be such torturous... to really dive in to like see how things are different from Rambo.
I've heard some people say it's really good. The animated series.
I can't imagine that he carries a lot of guns. Did he carry a lot of guns?
I'm sure he
Did
did.
he kill anybody in this show?
Probably not, but I'm sure he's got a lot of firepower.
Yeah, because they had action figure toys like helicopters and other things and jeeps.
So it'd be like G.I. Joe where they got all these guns shooting back and forth. And
Except they were not great looking. They were like a cross between G.I. Joe and He-Man. They were kind of muscly.
I think most of the characters are probably original characters. And Colonel Troutman was in the film.
Yeah.
And he's over in he had an action figure. But for the most part, they'd be original characters.
I wonder if...
So for an R-rated film to generate a child-friendly cartoon and toy line is kind of unique.
But James Cameron wrote that. The original First Blood. I think that's interesting.
I think that film often gets lumped in with a bunch of over-the-top action films, and that there's a lot more to it than that. And just
Yep. The first time I saw Rambo, First Blood, was at a drive-in theater. The drive-in down here on National
yes.
Turnpike.
Kenwood?
No, not Kenwood. It was where one of those
Oh, right there in
office
Fairdown.
parks that are at
Yeah.
now. But yeah, I saw most of it and then slipped through because I don't remember the other movie that we watched, but it was Rambo First Blood at the drive-in.
But yeah, I agree with Brett. That had a little bit more there than
Mm-hmm.
because
A
the
little
whole
more substantive.
Yes.
Then there also could be cartoons based off movies that were not as mature, that were more kid friendly to start with, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which generated an animated series.
I had forgotten that they made a Back to the Future cartoon. The only way I remembered it is because NECA is making figures.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Well, how about Beetlejuice? Because I remember
Yeah,
that
Beetlejuice
one. That
was
was
great.
That was a good one.
That seems like the perfect scenario for that.
And that, like I said, that was a great cartoon. The story was good, and
Practical effects had a lot of limitations at the time, and since that's all you really had, you could do so much more with that character in animation, I suppose.
especially with the sandworms and going in between the reality of being a spirit. And
Was that Winona Ryder? Did she do the voice in the show?
I don't think so.
No, I don't
She
think so.
should have.
Should have, yes.
And Michael Keaton, no?
No. Just a gravelly
Yeah.
It's a
scream.
gravelly
Yeah.
voice actor. Well, back then you had a lot more voice actors than you do today.
So what else was there?
Well, let's see.
He-Man? Or He-Man and the Masters of the Universe?
No, that's not that's a
Cartoon they
that
made
was,
to a movie, yeah.
No, that was a cartoon made to sell toys. The movie came after the toy line.
Yes.
The cartoon came first. We're talking about cartoons that came from live-action movies. So, obviously, droids and Ewoks from Star Wars. There you go.
All right, there you go.
That's two easy ones. And Ewoks is the superior one of those two.
Out of both of those.
Well, yeah, it's actually it has some charm to it, and it's got people like Paul Denis wrote some episodes. It's
Awesome.
it's not that bad of a shit. And the droids gets a little out there because I think because 3PO and R2 kind of get
Yeah, they get pushed to the back.
they get pushed to the back a little, and
it's the teens running around.
Yeah, these hipsters on their that Boba Fett take over Boba Fett show or whatever. The same kind of thing. It's just
On their scooters.
But the Ewoks is you got some Ewoks and you got those green skin Duloks or whatever they were called. It wasn't bad.
There was a lot of good voice actors on that show too, wasn't there?
On Ewoks?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
so
trying.
curious. I remember we watched the episode not too long ago. I think
I had him on at the
Cincinnati.
B&B.
and you recognize a few of them. And you're like, oh, I've heard him something else.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
So then there was.
That's good. That's what I've been sitting here trying to do is think. I was like, wow, that's a really good question.
Well, there was some of the band shows. Well, that doesn't count either.
Band shows.
I guess I
I
was
mean,
thinking
were they
of the
band or
Monkees.
were they like about a rock band?
Yeah, like they were a rock band.
Josie and the Pussycats?
Well, I mean, it wasn't a movie, but there was remember the wrestling, the rock and wrestling.
Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that every Saturday.
That
I was
was
a
a good
huge
one.
WWF fan at the time.
So yeah, like I said, it ain't a movie, but it could be.
Did the Goonies have a cartoon?
I think so.
Now, see, they should have. That
Yeah.
would have been a
That would
natural.
have been a good one.
Of
Yeah.
course, the Goonies is a little like the Lost Boys. It seems like something was a hit at the time, but now there's like this full nostalgia for it that it's a.
It's come full circle back to being
I'm
kind
gonna
of
know. I think it's
culture
enjoyable, but I think maybe it's a little overrated.
A little
in my
dated, maybe.
opinion.
Think you don't? It didn't stand the test of time. You don't think?
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
it's nothing that.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nothing I'd really go out of my way to watch all the time. I like the Cyndi Lauper song in it.
Yeah.
That video is fantastic.
Yeah.
I tell you, that video is one of the greatest. If you want to show someone what the 80s pop culture was, show them that
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
That's got all kinds of stuff in it.
Yeah.
That and girls just want to have fun. They came up at the house the other day, and I was looking at the TV. It's like trying to figure out how old, but when this came out, it came out like '84, so I was like 9 or 8. So I'm just like, oh my god. When you look at it like that, you know, and because I can remember when I came out on MTV, and it was like on rotation there forever. But yeah, what else we got? Went into a cartoon.
Well, more recent is the Tron Legacy inspired.
Ah, the
a show on
Tron,
Disney
yes.
For a little while. Had some pretty decent animation. I didn't watch too much of it.
A little, like, some of that was computer animated, like.
Yeah.
I've seen some of them.
Oh, Gremlins will soon have their animated series, The Tales of the Mogwai.
Really?
It'll be, I guess, debuting on HBO Max.
If it doesn't get cut with Batgirl.
Well, last I've heard, it's all set to go. But so were a lot of things that they have.
I'm really having a hard time. I mean, maybe there's just not that many that were done, or without looking it up. But yeah, I think that's about all I can remember.
I'm sure. I mean, a lot of big movies that I think would have had tie-ins today. Things that you could easily have had, like everything from The Last Starfighter, or the Dark Crystal finally got a live-action series follow-up.
Yep.
But,
that wasn't too bad too.
All of those, actually, that was kind of cool. Yeah. All of those things could have had animated tie-ins. I mean, the Partridge Family had Laverne and Shirley had an animated series.
Gilligan? No, that doesn't count. It's a TV show.
Well, I just named 2 TV shows.
Okay.
Laverne and Shirley in the Army.
I remember that.
Yeah. Someone I could never
vaguely,
watch it.
But
there was the Gary Coleman show. There was Hanna-Barbera made just as wonderful as they were, and as many.
Of course, all this cameos in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. I think Cher is going to reprise her role in Scooby in October. They're doing an episode. So that means that Scooby and them met Sonny and Cher back in the late 70s.
No,
and they're going to meet Cher again. Of course, he's
Cher? Where's Sonny at?
Too soon.
Yeah. So I thought, was there anyone else that's still alive from the original run of the guest stars? Oddly enough, a lot of those guys were dead when it started, like the Stooges and Laurel and Hardy.
Oh, what was the girl that from the Mama and the Papas?
Phyllis Diller, Mama Cass.
Yeah,
Mama Cass was already dead at that point.
Oh, what was the one that done the song?
This is the grave parts of the conversation. She was already
back.
There was Don Rickles.
Yeah.
Tim Conway. Tim Conway was on one.
Don Knotts.
Don Knotts. All these people are dead. And so, except for Cher. Oh, Adam West, because he was on Batman and Robin were on there. Well, now Robin's alive.
All right.
So Robin...
The Ward is
Where's
still around.
Batman at? It's Robin.
Yeah.
Jerry
Ward.
Reed. How about Jerry Reed?
He's got to be dead.
You think so?
I'd
The
guarantee.
Harlem Globetrotters?
They're all dead. There's new ones.
But all the original
I'd
ones
say
are
most
gone,
of the big metal arc and all of them are gone.
They're all dead.
They're all dead.
If you're not, please let us know in the comments.
if you're not dead.
If you were on the original Scooby-Doo Mysteries and you're still alive and you're not Cher or Sandy Duncan,
Call
let us know.
1-800.
Inquiring minds need to know.
Yeah, I always thought that was odd. Even when I was little watching that, there was all these people that I didn't know who Laurel and Hardy were.
Oh my God.
That was my first introduction to them.
Oh God, I did.
How did you know who they were?
Oh my old man, God.
He made you watch Laurel and Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy,
Yeah.
Three Stooges, Little Rascals. If it's black and white and it was
Little
from
Rascals,
the
I
40s,
could sit
I
through.
watched it, dude. I watched
Abbott
it.
and Costello, I would sit through.
Abbott and Costello. Who's on first? I mean,
It wasn't your kind of humor.
no, but I knew it though. I knew it.
So, yeah, it looks like in the 80s that a lot of cartoons were just made from whatever TV shows were popular at the time.
Yeah, we'll cram this down little kids.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes
all
of
kinds
Hazzard. There you go.
Dukes of Hazzard had a cartoon. Beverly Hillbillies.
So, yeah, we definitely do a lot of TV shows for sure, huh?
Yeah. Gilligan's Island in space.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Did that have a cartoon?
No, I just wanted to hear, but like, really?
Would have been better if someone had said, "Oh, I
A-Team?
remember that."
The A-Team?
No, the
does,
A-Team.
Does
No.
Mr. T count?
They had a Marvel comic. The A-Team did, but no cartoon.
Didn't have no cartoon?
Mr. T had a cartoon and cereal
And cereal, I was going to say, yeah.
and a doll,
Yep, I had
12-inch action figure.
Yep.
With chains, yeah.
My brother had one, and we had 2 Mr. T's.
And I bet you also had a Michael Jackson one, too, didn't you?
No.
No?
The Mr. T doll, yeah, that's pretty badass.
Yep. That's how popular it was. We had 2 of them.
Yeah, he was that popular, yeah.
Yeah.
He would show up on different strokes to walk
You
Arnold
pity fools.
to school to protect him against the gooch.
Nice memory.
The bullies that would.
I forgot that, dude.
There was some reason that Different Strokes, that show stuck with me. There were lots of very special episodes that taught me a lot in life. Taught me not.
What you talking about, Bray?
No, I'm not going there. I want to say something, but I don't. Just not, because it's a very deep rabbit hole.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. This is fun racking my brain.
Yeah, because
We've opened up the category to TV or
Mhm.
movie turned into a cartoon because movie alone was too difficult.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a good question, though. It did definitely open up your brain cells.
Yeah, I mean a lot of it got kind of watered down in the 80s, so there was a lot of disposable content. Things like the Littles and Quickie
Wow.
Koala.
I really like the Littles.
You liked it?
Yes, I did.
I couldn't stand it.
I wasn't a fan.
Thought it was wonderfully.
You weren't a fan either.
No.
No.
Losers.
We'll see.
The
Why don't you,
Looters are awesome.
why don't you call NECA and see if you get some Littles figures?
I would be tempted.
And say people, why didn't we think of that sooner?
Yeah, I mean I was watching Quickie Koala, so I can't say anything.
And Chili Willy. Used to watch Chili Willy in the mornings before going to school.
In the reruns, you watched
The
Chili
reruns,
Willy.
Yeah. I wasn't alive yet.
That was like a
Because
Tom and Jerry thing.
That was
wasn't
Chili Willy was so old that when you went to the mall with your mom and you saw the cartoon booth and you got in there, you put a quarter into the machine.
What's a cartoon booth?
In the mall, they had cartoon booths.
it? Get in there, get your pictures taken.
Where?
It looked like a
Like Jefferson Mall or?
Bachelor Manor malls where we would shop, and they had a cartoon booth. So you would sit in there. There was a little TV in there.
Oh, and you
put,
watched like an episode of.
put your
yeah,
quarter
that's
in, and you would get like a Walter Lantz, like Woody
I feel like
Woodpecker, or Chilly Willy, or Heckle and Jekyll, the magpies.
I feel like I've missed out on part of my childhood. Like my folks would pull me away from it or something like that. Now I just don't remember it at all.
I'll send you a photo of one later because there's a couple of photos online. They were called something Rama,
So
Show
you
Rama.
would just put quarters in and put your children
Yeah,
in and
get to
go
watch it.
shopping?
Yes.
And get to watch a cartoon,
And
right?
your children are in a box?
Your children are in a
watching
box
cartoons.
watching
Yeah, it's like-
cartoons
it's like
while
one
you
of
could
the-
leisurely shop through the ladies section. Your
No
mom can
wonder
buy
so
a
many
bra
kids got
while you're.
abducted. Just
He's
put your
brainwashing
child in a
us
box.
the whole time.
Well,
I
they're
will
not just in
obey,
a box
said in
or
a
watching a
box.
cartoon.
Couldn't figure out what McGruff was so mad about. Now I know.
And it had like little pictures of the. Yeah, but that's the thing. You didn't get anything
about that.
modern. You didn't get Scooby or anything. You just got the old stuff. You know.
Yeah, Chili Willy. They'll
That's
B-listers.
It's absolutely incredible.
You didn't know about.
It's
the
like
cartoon
this.
booths.
It's your multiverse. I'm like over here.
Well,
I don't remember.
I remember
doing
these
that.
things. I don't know if I've ever said in one, but I know I've seen these things.
Well, my mom liked to shop in Bacon's and high-end department stores at the time.
Yeah,
Ben Snyder's, they were the bigger names. So they had cartoon booths.
I loved the opportunities to go to Basham Manor because it was every now and then that we went out that way, and that mall was laid out so cool.
Oh, that was a cool mall.
Remember
back
the
in day.
smoker pit?
Yeah, and there was TVs and couches.
Yes,
down
TVs and
sunken.
couches in that pit, and that's where all the people would sit and smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
While the women would go shop,
yeah.
the guys would sit down there and
The console TVs sitting down in there with fake plants or something.
lots of fake plants.
Yeah.
That's where we went to meet Darth Vader and some Jawas. They would have performances. You can,
Oh yeah, in the
Yeah.
hallway, yeah.
Well, they had a stage we went to see them.
In the middle of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a
Like
stage.
on the far end, maybe?
Yeah, because I want to say there was a skylight.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it all came
'Cause
into
that's
the
usually where like Santa
into
and
that
the Easter Bunny were.
little
Yeah,
intersection
well,
right
that's where
there.
they did that stuff.
Yeah.
And he would autograph things.
Speaking of autographs, I remember there was a guy who sold autographs there.
Oh,
Yeah, he had pictures of like famous people and their autographs on them and stuff. And he would sell pictures there at the mall. He had-
Really?
Yeah, he had his own booth and everything.
Huh.
That was a cool little mall.
yep. I went to several. They used to have conventions there, like a comic book weekend or something.
We
like
went back when we was teenagers.
Yep.
I coming out there spending a bunch of money on comic books too. Now that I remember that, yeah, I remember us doing that. Because you was like, there's a bunch of
I
comic
mean,
books.
it was
being sold.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's just like we only got like 1 or 2 comic book stores, but to have a convention,
I want to say that's back when I was just getting into Spawn.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what I spent
God.
a bunch of money on. Is a bunch
Wow.
of Spawn comic books. So what else we got there, Brad?
So about movies, have you ever read any movie adaptation books
I have not.
that
Not
add
a
to?
single one.
You've never read a movie adaptation?
No. I've heard about them. Like my brother would read a lot of them. He'd be like, "Yeah, there was this thing in here that they didn't put in a movie."
Oh, like a fan fiction kind
no,
of thing?
no. Like they just adapt the movie into a book. They just make it a novelization.
And it's different than if, like Jaws or Jurassic Park, in which the novel existed. Well
Oh, okay,
before.
so it's like backwards.
like
Oh,
Star
yeah,
Wars
that's
would
film, yeah.
put out
Okay.
one, and if you read it,
So
then
Return of the
it's-
Jedi is going to be released, but we released the novelization before.
Yep.
And see, that's what happened to me in '83. My mom brought it home from the grocery store. She'd always bring me home stuff. You know, she would go shopping for groceries and find toys or books or whatever. So she brought me home the Return of the Jedi novelization. So I read it as
Oh,
soon as she gave it to me, and I flipped to the back. And I remember I saw a passage that said the Empire is dead or something like that, and I was like, oh. And I told her that
yeah, I
Vader
remember you said
dies.
the first spoilers.
Yeah, well, I said that on one of my earlier videos
Yeah.
talking about the Jabba's palace. So that's true. The novelizations, I remember the Attack of the Clones novelization for whatever reason. I read that, and man, they usually add so much cool stuff in there. Often it really fleshes out the story. It talked about how many times Klieg Lars, you know, in the film, it doesn't seem like he really tried that hard to get Shmi back while she was being
Right.
assaulted by Tusken Raiders for weeks at a time. He was just kind of like, my legs all messed up and I can't go. Once I get back to feeling better, I'll be out there. But yeah, he really did. I mean, he was almost killed going out there. He went on a lot of missions. He did everything he could to try to get her, and he had pretty much given up. You feel a lot more sympathy for him in there. And it's just one of many examples.
No,
It
yeah.
fleshes out to a whole lot. So I think they're kind of cool.
Helps that backstory of
Well,
character building and everything.
Well,
Yeah.
when it's you have to adapt movie to just reading, it's kind of like then you get to talk about landscapes and
you're right.
colors.
You got to paint the scenery,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The worst was the Phantom Menace because they released that adaptation with 4 covers.
Really.
4 covers. Yes.
Jeez.
You got you can be Padme, you can be Little Annie, you can be Obi-Wan, or you can be Darth Maul. Of course, I bought the Maul one. But
They knew somebody was going to buy all of them for sure.
somebody was
Yeah.
going to buy more than one.
Yeah.
So you got 4 books on your shelf.
Does-
They're all sitting the same way.
Does manga meet the novelization definition?
What are you saying? Is there a manga that is...
Oh, there's
Yeah,
that
because
the
I
Disney show.
find like the manga versions of like episode 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, the little black and white manga books. Would that be classified a
That's a
novelization?
comic. Well, it'd be a comic adaptation.
You got to read
Well,
it.
on Disney Plus, don't they have that show?
Visions?
Yeah, Visions.
Yeah.
So would that count?
No.
No.
Okay.
Because you said never, and I'm like, well, I did this. Does that count?
See, what would count is, okay, how about one I haven't read yet?
What is that?
It was, I found a paperback at work. It was Halloween Kills, right?
Okay.
I'm torn with this movie, and part of
Yeah.
me loves it, and part
Yep.
of me is kind of like, wow, it doesn't make sense. So I thought... I
That's
saw
the one we watched in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it probably 5 times.
No, that's
And
gruesome.
So I saw it at work, and I was just like, what is that? Is that a Halloween Kills adaptation sitting on the bookshelf over here? It's like, I've got to buy this. You know what? I'm going to read it now. I want to make it my mission. We're going to read it before Halloween ends
We want a full book report
in
on
October.
this.
Oh, there you
And
go.
I hope that it has
Book
some
report.
insight. It may have more insight into what's going on. Whether or not he has acquired superhuman powers or what. Because I've never seen a man take so much punishment. And
Get up and
get
walk
right
away.
back up.
Shot him 6 times.
And get everybody except the lady with the iron.
Yeah.
Oh, he took more punishment than 6 bullets.
But he kept dishing it. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't let up. So we need to know why. I need to know why.
I need to know why Halloween Kills.
That's Halloween Ends. I want a satisfactory ending. I just found out the runtime's an hour and 52 minutes. So.
Woo.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Hopefully it's a deep dive then.
That's going to be a lot of gore.
That's
And,
a lot of night walking with knives.
well, you know, the poor lady with the drone in the last movie, I kind of thought, even I thought that was excessive,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
broke that fluorescent bulb and
Yeah.
Oh, and then the guy he used as a stabbing.
block.
Yeah.
He's just going, oh,
Oh,
I've never killed anybody like
try
this.
this one. It's,
I like this one
I'm
instead.
so bored
Yeah.
of killing. What else can I do?
yeah, 'cause it's almost spooky time, so that'll all be coming up soon.
Yeah, I noticed in the stores there are already the
Halloween candy, yes, you know.
well, the pumpkins and
Well,
Yeah.
they've said there may be a shortage of Halloween candy this year.
Oh no! Is it made by baby formula makers, or does that come out in the Ukraine?
I don't know. There is a new line of the cereal monsters. This is exciting news.
Okay.
Is that this year, for the first time in almost 10 years, you'll be able to buy Fruit Brute again.
Fruit Brute.
So I will finally get a box of Fruit Brute, which I've never had.
These are amazing times we live
Oh,
And,
we definitely have to have a unveiling of that.
in. We're going to make a video of Brad going, pouring the milk,
Oh no, bro.
and
Yeah.
him just going,
He's gonna have to have a box to open
and
and a
him
box
going,
to put on the
it's
shelf.
pretty good. Like, end of episode. It's like
Well,
60 seconds long.
from
Just chewing.
from bloodydisgusting.com, it does report that the General Mills monsters are making their return. Fruit Brute is being added back after a long absence.
Popular demand.
And there is an artist. His name is, and I've never heard of this artist. It's all capital letters, and it's Cause. Kaws. Cause is the artist's name, and he's got a distinctive style. It seems so they look pretty much the same, but it looks like Count Chocula and Frankenberry have gray earmuffs on or something. Y'all can see, and all the characters have X's.
Oh,
In there.
Claus. Okay.
Well,
Claus
it
is
says
the guy.
Cause.
I
Where's an L?
thought it was Claus. Yeah. He's been doing some stuff for decades now, and that everybody's got like bones sticking out, but they're like cartoony. Usually have the X's in the eyes.
Yeah, they have the X's in the eyes.
Yeah.
What's up the great?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really understand that.
And Blueberry doesn't have any.
Blueberry and Fruit Brute don't have any.
Oh.
It looks like it's
Because
just.
they haven't died yet. Well, Blueberry did.
Yeah, he's been dead.
He's way deceased.
So yeah, so that's exciting. I can't wait to find out this year. I had some Flash cereal and some Superman cereal
And were they?
that I found at Target.
What does Flash taste like?
Flash cereal is called Cinnamon Bolts, so it's very cinnamony.
Okay. And Superman was just corn.
No, it was super strong berry, and it was
So is Captain
very
Crunch.
bright, multicolored berries.
So what did the Superman look like? Was it like from the comic books or a movie actor or a?
Oh, it was just the front of the box has Superman on it. The back of the box has Supergirl.
So it's like the Justice League version of
it's
Superman.
just classic Kal-El, classic looking Superman.
Whenever you poured the cereal into the bowl, did it go, America, fuck yeah?
No, and they've took that tagline off Superman anyway. So
What was the Truth, Justice, and American Way?
yeah, I
Did,
think they got rid of the American Way part.
Was there any toy surprise with those particular?
No, I was surprised there wasn't, but it was okay because I found them on clearance
Was
at Target.
there like
so.
a nice maze on the box to figure out for the Flash?
Oh no, I don't think you get anything on the.
I'm very disappointed in the cereal.
It's just the flashy.
Is it a drawing of the cereal or is it the real cereal?
Yes. Is it photographed cereal or cartoons?
There's no depiction of the cereal.
Oh,
on
what?
the front of the box. It's just Flash, cinnamon bolts.
And no sprinkles of Flash cereal coming from anywhere.
No, that's so
No.
weird.
Interesting.
So
Weird.
How do I know if I'm gonna like it or not? If I don't know what it looks like.
It's kind of like new packaging on action figures. I'm just gonna stare at a picture of this action figure. So angry.
yeah, I don't know.
Very interesting.
The Star Wars Black Series will still have some. Like I guess the Cantina guys are gonna. They have window packaging. But I guess like I ordered Black Chrysanthemum, I pre-ordered him, and I don't guess he will.
The newest one that came out, or
The first one they came out with.
the black Chewbacca with?
Yes, well, that's pretty much what he is.
Yeah.
Just,
Seems like I think that they were making another one, or maybe I guess I saw the Foosh guy. He was making a better version of that.
now, when I was reading Sergeant Creel's origin in Star Wars comics, I reread some Black Chrysanthemum stuff too, and yeah, he was pretty fearsome. So maybe he
And he was like a bounty hunter too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know very much about him.
Well, he's a fairly new character. He was just a bounty hunter, Wookiee who was pretty savage towards his own people and anyone else. In fact, the comics version of him is a lot more savage than what they had on the show.
He's a little bit of a teddy bear on the show then,
He
huh?
turned pretty quick. I mean, yeah, I know that
It's Disney, right?
it's Disney, so they're gonna do that.
Everybody's nice.
Even Boba Fett's nice.
You look like a bantha.
They still haven't made Vader nice. Vader's still not nice. The Grand Inquisitor, those guys aren't nice.
So what would the storyline be to make a nice Vader? Is it like him being nice to the droids that put him together or something? Like,
I guess being nice is just not killing anyone on your work day. Not killing the...
it's like he remembers Padme's birthday, and like on those days he doesn't kill anybody. And we just walked through like a series of 7 episodes of that whole day. Like he gets up in the morning, puts on his arms and his legs, and he looks at the calendar, and he's
Make sure
like,
he's taller than has the high ground.
he looks at his
Okay.
calendar and go, "Oh, it's Padme's birthday. I don't kill anybody today." And then he's like, there's like one of the little peon guys with the hats, the triangle hats. He bumps into him, spills coffee all over him, and he's going, "Oh, it's Padme's birthday. I can't kill this guy." So, tripping over droids.
Kylo Ren throw him all over the room.
Yeah.
And then he'll go for the younglings.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have any movie suggestions? Have you been watching any movies lately?
The last movie, and I consider streaming also
well, sure,
movies,
of course it is.
was The Gray Man. This is on Netflix. Ryan Gosling and what's his face? Captain America's in it.
Oh, okay.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans, and that lovely lady, whatever her name is, Anna something.
Paquin.
I've
No,
seen the previews for this. Yeah, they look interesting.
But the Russo brothers directed and wrote it, so it's a pretty good looking movie.
Ain't they gangsters or
No, he's
None
like
Jenks is
CIA
the-
spy
yeah, that's
and
right, yeah,
stuff
okay.
like that, and it is very action oriented. It's a very good popcorn movie. That's the only thing I can pick out besides Thor: Love and Thunder that I slept through.
Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of Thor: Love and Thunder. What did I watch the other day? The first time I watched The Babadook
That movie is savage.
because there's a song
Oh my god! Have
From-
you seen that, Donnie?
Yeah, the
Babadook.
Babadook. It's the Babadook, Mama.
Oh my god, that
the
kid
thing.
was terrifying.
and the little the little lantern thing that spins around, and
There was some reason I didn't want to watch it, and then I kept getting this song in my head from the singer from a punk band I like called Mr. Babadook, and I thought, I'm just gonna watch it. I looked it up. It was on Tubi.
Oh yeah.
I watched it on Tubi for free with one commercial. You can't really beat
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, one Walmart commercial in between.
Oh.
98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And director Jennifer Kent's her first movie, Australian director,
Amazing.
Australian film, and yeah,
Doing
the
so much with so little. Yeah.
yeah, the lead actress was Essie Davis as Amelia.
Mhm.
Yeah, she was impressive.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to the movie. You unpack a lot there. Is it talking about the Babadook being metaphor for depression or mental illness or something? It's there
Or
when you go
grief.
home to it. Grief.
Yeah.
Does she ever get over losing her husband?
Right.
The whole thing about having a birthday party for her son, who's born the day that
my God.
her husband dies
Yeah.
in the accident. So, yeah,
Sorry, we just spoiled all of that.
and the
Yeah.
Babadook is.
Really,
I've seen it
our
when
description.
I've seen it when it first came out, but it's been. a
Oh
while
no,
since I
it's
watched
definitely
it.
worth watching.
Our description does not do it justice.
I know. I had a.
That's one of those that creep me out. Like, I couldn't put my feet on the floor because there was that gap underneath the couch, and it's like something's going to get me. That was really good.
Yeah, when he was making the little fort in the hallway, in the toy truck or whatever. Yeah, I was like,
So I looked on Shudder, and there's a ton of Stephen King movies on there, adaptations, and I've read most of his books. I've taken a little break from reading King. After this year, I did Desperation and The Regulators, and then I stopped for a while and just been reading more comics. But once he's got a new book called Fairy Tale, it'll be out in September.
Is it tied in with anything else?
No, I think it's well.
Well,
They
they're
all
all
are
a little
in
bit
some
tied,
way.
but not directly.
No, this isn't directly tied into anything.
Okay.
But so I was looking at Shudder and lots of King adaptations, Cat's Eye and
Yeah,
Needful
that's a good
Things
one.
and Misery, and then I thought this movie was neat. It's called Allegoria, and it is directed by Spider One from the rock band Power Man 5000. So it's Rob Zombie's little brother, and it is a compilation film about a group of artists. The description being a group of artists' lives become unwittingly entangled as their obsessions and insecurities manifest monsters. And it just talks about art in all of its forms.
Sounds interesting.
It's kind of neat. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm going to get Shudder sometime soon. It'd be nice to watch some different stuff. What was the last movie you watched, Mr. Shaw?
well, I'm like you. I've been watching this streaming. Actually, gone back and was watching all the Marvel movies in order.
Okay.
I was like, it's about time I've done that. So I've actually gone all the way through. I've got to Loki,
Yeah.
and I'm remembering how much I liked it the first time. I was like, that was a good series, I thought. And then watching it again, I thought it was pretty cool. And at the end, he's got pruned and going after Goliath, so he can get into seeing the one who remains.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm at that one. So, but yeah, it's I say I'm gonna sit and watch all these from the Captain America, and then
That's a big commitment. It's a lot of movies to watch.
it's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, it's probably been about month and a half now into it. On the weekends, watch maybe 2 of them.
If I was a kid nowadays, I'd never make it out of the house. I mean, less than now.
Well, I get that night shift, so when
Yeah.
everybody else is in bed, I can just watch whatever the hell I want to watch. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna try this. So actually, it's been kind of cool. Actually, because we've all seen them all, but to watch them in order like they're supposed to come it puts a different little twist on it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched some. I've gotten to on lunch break at work. I watch an anime episode, whatever anime I'm watching, and right now I'm watching that. The Devil is a Part-Timer, which I'm really enjoying. Sometimes it's hard for me to get one to click. I have all these people recommending all these animes. They're just like, oh, you need to watch Overlord. You'll love this, or you need to watch something like Naruto that's really expansive and it seems intimidating because there's so much to watch. And then
Naruto's a little boring.
I come across this little 13. I mean, season 1's just 13 episodes, and it's really fun and enjoyable. The Satan character is great. Satan working as a part-time burger employee.
I know the kids got me into that one, and that's what my Haley was telling me that they're supposed to be making a season 2 for that one.
Well, I think 2 episodes are out. It looks like season 2, but they're not. They may not be dubbed, but I think there are a couple episodes available for season 2. But yeah, I kind of like just finding one, and if within the first episode, or by the second episode, if you're not kind of hooked or excited, then I just
But that's where some of them. It seems like they do this with a lot of animes, where they get a whole season out, and they build you up on the cliffhanger there at the end, thinking, "All right, waiting for season 2," and then next thing you know, years later, you're like, "Well, are we ever going to get a season 2?" And yeah, you usually don't.
It's like, are they doing Archie comics on you? Archie horror comics on you?
Yeah.
They pull that trick out of the bag.
Rage.
We just
There's one.
start telling a story
The
and
High School
stop.
of the Dead. That's a very good first season.
High School of the Dead.
High School of the Dead.
It's
a fan service one for one.
Okay.
And a lot of bouncy and
Lot
running
of
around killing
bouncy.
zombies.
Say lots of bouncy.
A lot of bouncy. Yeah.
What's the bouncing?
Tiggle bitties. So.
Yes, anime is
That's
not
the
afraid
sound
to
bite I was looking for.
shame away from bouncy.
So. Well.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because they can walk without jiggling. So.
Yeah.
It's like Brad made a comment once
So
before. He
you would
says every time we
say-
watch Fairy Tale and Lucy comes on there,
You'd say
he
about
said,
like-
does she get bigger every time you see her?
So you would say by episode 2, you were like, I love this series.
Yeah, because like I said, the story was pretty cool. Some hardcore graphic zombie killings, and teenagers in high school with guns.
What's it called? High School of the
Dead.
Dead.
High School of the Dead. It really is really
But
good.
it's another good one
it
where
is
you get
like
all the way through it. You
well
get
saturated.
to the end, and it's setting you up for season 2, and then, well,
But isn't there another series that's supposed to be like High School of the Dead, but it's not? It
I don't know.
seems like
Oh, I see what you're saying. Look at the.
yeah,
Okay.
all of it's animated.
That's from 2010.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add it to my queue, and I'm going to. Once I'm done with this one, I'm on now. I'm gonna give it. I will watch it. Tell you what I think.
There you go.
Because I like that. Because you just said what you're watching instead of telling me what to watch. We often get that. And I know we get excited about things, and we're always
Yeah.
telling people, watch this. None of us have time to sit and watch everything. But
Because that was it Goblin Slayer?
Goblin Slayer.
I keep
so
hearing
good.
about that, but I haven't had time to check it out
Yeah,
yet.
it's super popular right now.
I've got the Blu-ray. Is it super popular right now? Because I don't see any merchandise for it.
I think it's still up and coming because, like I said, it's going
You're talking
around.
about you're talking about Demon Slayer.
That's
No,
what it was.
Demon Slayer.
Demon
yes.
Slayer
Yeah,
merchandise
yeah.
is everywhere.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Goblin Slayer. I think I like that as much, and that Demon Slayer's awful good though.
No finger on the pulse.
It's Demon Slayer's kind of heartwarming in a lot of ways.
Like the sister.
The lengths that Tanjiro will go through to protect Nezuko. And
The character design on a lot of them characters are awesome.
Tanjiro's just too noble and pure, He's one of those Goku, Natsu type characters that just seems
Never
like
gonna quit. Never give
he's
up.
never going to quit. He's never going to give up. And
Can I
he,
do this?
And he really never does anything wrong either. Like everything's just,
It's about the book.
If they have a flaw, it's that they care too much. Right?
Yes.
It's true.
It's true.
He got the way he gets in tears over the flame Hashira.
Oh yeah.
When the flame Hashira is killed by that lower level demon. And he's like, that's actual emotion. You sit there and watch it for so long, and you're kind of like, man, I'm starting to feel upset over this.
Right. You know, he done hit that little lump in your throat. You know. Yeah.
I love
Pulls
Mugen
you
Train.
in. Yes, I like a good, compelling story like that.
I wish I would have went to the theater and saw that, but I wasn't on the pulse as much at that time. So
Sometimes you stray.
yeah, but you have to try to stay somewhat active. You get too sedentary, you just fall apart.
Right. Everything goes downhill from there.
But you don't have to like everything new, like digital comics.
Parker is very into that.
Parker likes digital comics.
Yes, he does. That's a weird one.
Well, I mean, what kind of device does he read them on?
His phone.
Just a regular phone?
He's sending me some of them. Said, "Hey, you need to check these out." I'm like, I don't know. I'll start watching off. I said, I don't know if this is my kind of thing or not. Oh, you gotta keep them. You gotta keep watching that. You gotta keep watching.
That's always the worst whenever you hear that, because we've all had shows, especially you do go through a lot of shows, and eventually you do get vested, and you're like, oh man, you know, hang in there by season 3, and it's all like, Jesus, I gotta watch 3 years of this before it gets good.
Before I liked it.
Well, see, that's how I felt about the One Piece before I started watching that, because I kept hearing about One Piece. I'm like, you know, how many episodes is it here? And then you're like, and then you catch a couple of episodes that's, you know, like in the middle of the series or something, and you're kind of like, next thing you know, you're like 5 episodes in, and you're like, oh, well, this is interesting. And then I was like, well, now I got to go back and see what's going on. You know, how did I get to this point? So sometimes you get like that. Sometimes you're like 2 episodes in, you know it's not gonna last. So you gotta move on.
Would you guys like to play a game?
Always interesting in
Sure.
games.
So this game may be the first and last time we do this, but I have made I don't know what you want to call it,
Wheel?
a
Looks like a
wheel.
Wheel of Fortune here.
So what we have to do is we have been given the opportunity to make a movie, or possibly a TV show. But we have to have, at random will be selected 2 characters. And then you will set up what kind of the plot is, whether it's a versus, team up, or both. And then there is one secret weapon that is the pivotal thing that brings these 2, or they have to fight or defend whatever this is. Secret weapon. I also, without random, we get to choose 2 other characters to put into the movie. Any character, any genre, wherever, to make the plot move along.
All right,
Are you ready?
let's try this.
Okay, first we're going to pick out our characters.
All right, spinning the wheel. So this is going to determine who is our first character, right? Wolverine looks
Wolverine is the first character.
like our... All right.
All right, bub.
So the second character.
Berserker Rage.
And there's all kinds of different characters on this, right?
Yep. And our next character is
Poison Ivy. Wow.
Alright, so we've got a movie with Wolverine and Poison Ivy.
Interesting.
So now we're going to determine whether this is a versus, team up, or both. It is a team up.
So Wolverine and Poison Ivy are
Poison
teaming
Ivy are teaming up, and then we got a commercial.
up. All right.
Go away.
So they're going to be on the same team, so that would be a story for sure.
Yeah.
Gotta-
So last is Secret Weapon. So Wolverine and Poison Ivy are going to team up to stop somebody from using this weapon.
and this weapon is.
Weather control.
Oh wow,
So
that sounds like
if
something.
you don't have to pick out two other characters to put in with this, but you can to help move the story along, because why would Wolverine help Poison Ivy control the weather or
I
stop
think this
weather
writes
control?
itself. This easily writes itself.
Okay.
So, the terrorist organization has developed a weather dominator that they use to
Control the weather.
to control, to extort from other countries, and by doing so, they are damaging the ecosystem.
Okay.
And Ivy is not happy with this.
And since Wolverine cares about wolves,
And since Ivy controls men, Wolverine's a man. He likes
yeah,
the
but
ladies.
he has a healing factor though.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is-
What does the healing factor have to do with mind control?
Well, I mean,
I
you
mean,
know,
she's got to use an outside element, like a kiss or poison or something.
would that work?
She's going to get all
Affect him.
sexy and get close up to Wolverine.
You know,
She's gonna
Wolverine.
kiss
I
him.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like, oh,
And then she's
another
going to
redhead.
And then she's
you know,
going
he
to
is
direct.
about redheads, exactly.
That's right. And she's going to direct him
So you're green, huh?
into the citadel of this place to go chop up all these people that are using it. She's going to
Doing it
send
for
him in.
her.
That's right. He's doing it for her.
But it's not
Ivy's
really a
not
team
gonna.
up.
Ivy's
it's
not.
like somebody. It's almost like a
she's-
versus.
She's not going to have to dirty her fingers at all. She's going to just send in her.
Once you go plant, you don't go back.
And then what could happen is that's right. And so, at some point, Wolverine breaks free of the control,
Healing factor.
and he's in the
Poison
middle of
ivy.
berserker rage. So he's killing all these people. He doesn't know why.
Okay.
And then
But what I want to know, how Wolverine get there in the first place? I mean, it sounds like we're
how
in
does he
poison.
get there?
Well, think about it. It sounds like we're in
She's
poison ivy.
infiltrated everything. She knows where
So-
where to
She
send
was
him.
like, I need a little short, runty guy who has a thing for redheads that
She's
I can.
like, I need.
Met him in a bar somewhere, maybe.
She wants a discreet killing machine.
Wolverine went to get tea, and she was like, "Don't drink tea."
Bane was busy.
Well, that could be the other character.
Oh, see?
One of the
Yeah.
other characters to help move the story along.
Bane could be the person with the weather machine.
It's a backstab.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Originally, Poison Ivy teamed up with Bane,
And he double crossed her.
double crossed her, and she runs into the short guy. At the
Why would
bar.
he have a weather machine though?
To make it cold?
Well, then he's working for Mr. Freeze then.
Yeah, it can't be Bane. It should be
This
Mr.
idea from Mr. Freeze.
There you go. So we'll
If it's cold everywhere.
So
Mr. Freeze is gonna
that's
freeze.
her other
the
second.
city, so he can let his old lady walk around.
No, I want it hot.
My muscles don't sweat.
And Ivy's upset because the plants will die.
I can't find a jacket to fit over my muscles. Swear to me.
So Bane is working for Freeze because
Was, and then like Poison Ivy's like, fuck that, I don't want the place to be cold. We like it hot, don't
it'll
we?
kill the plants.
She's gonna make
Yeah,
it tropical.
And she's like,
so
Bane's
she-
like,
I don't like the cold either.
and so they team up, and then Bane's like, you know what? I don't like Poison Ivy because what she did to Harvey Dent.
But how's she meet Wolverine? It's gotta make sense.
How does she
But
meet
it's
Wolverine?
Makes sense.
There's a loophole there we gotta fix.
Well, because he says he's the best there is at what he does, and so she took him up on that.
But what was it? We
He
gotta have
put
that
an
scene.
ad
We
in the-
gotta have that scene where they meet.
Wolverine put an ad in the classified.
Where they meet,
Yeah,
meet
that
at a smoky bar.
Nice.
What's the
can pay me in
circumstances
beer and
behind the smoky
cigars.
bar?
Just a small town girl.
Was it like
Smell of wine.
Living in a lonely
She
world.
took the midnight train. Going anywhere.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So we have a soundtrack already.
Where she,
Fuck you, Guardians of the Galaxy.
He just
We're gonna win this one.
We'll just use the Journey's best of it. We got a whole movie.
yeah, because that's what they do anymore, right? They just take
Right.
one band and pepper them throughout the,
Yep.
like Thor, crap and thunder.
And then
that-
Iron Man and AC/DC.
Yeah. At least that made sense. Well,
All
no,
right,
it would have made more
so-
sense to have Black Sabbath, but that would.
So maybe, as we find out, Bane is the bad guy now. Freeze teams up with Ivy and Wolverine to bring down Bane.
Yeah, I don't know that Wolverine would care that much anymore unless he's being controlled.
See what I mean?
Why?
There has to be.
Mr. Freeze
There
is
has to be
like,
some reason
I will
Wolverine
freeze your
is there.
balls. Help me with this mission.
Does Iceman show up?
No, that's too many characters. We only get like a total
I still
of
need to
4.
know why and how Wolverine's there.
Yeah, Wolverine seems out of place. Like, everyone else is a Batman
It's just
villain.
him at
So
home
this
cleaning
movie
his
looking
house or cleaning his room at the
movie-
X Mansion, and
Is
he's
it-
just watching the news, and this is going on. Bane and Freeze and Ivy's doing it. That's how he's involved.
So we get millions of dollars to make a movie, and this is the only thing we can come up with. Come on, guys, we got to
Well, it
try
has to
harder.
start off with Ivy and Wolverine. They were the two characters
Right.
that were picked. So I think she does. She manipulates him, and
Okay.
and he breaks free, and then he gets mad, but he's reluctant.
Err.
He's
Well, he don't want everything being icy anyway, so.
yeah, and he's reluctant to hit a woman, and so he does listen to her.
And she is kind of hot.
Yeah, he likes redheads,
Yes.
So-
Okay. Okay. All right.
and so he does.
Did it all for the nookie.
I just didn't think that
He does
Wolverine
listen
was
to her.
vegetarian.
Ivy's not vegetarian.
Wolverine's not vegetarian
So
either.
I called that out, you know,
love will find
on
you.
that Harley Quinn show with the Gotham Awards episode.
I haven't seen it.
Well, there's a new episode of
Yeah.
Harley Quinn, and Ivy keeps talking about how she's a vegan. Well, in the comics, especially those awesome new Ivy comics that are out, she talks about how she's the ultimate carnivore, and she hates vegans because she said, you know how much land is cleared
Wow.
to plant all these organic crops for these spoiled vegans? Like, she hates them. She wants to eat vegetarians first. So she even says, I am actually the ultimate carnivore. And she's sitting there eating a steak in a restaurant. So then I see, like, and I love that depiction of her
Yeah.
because that makes more sense.
Yeah, that's
Say-
interesting.
I don't know why everyone went with she loves plants, so she eats them. You know, so she only eats them. She's vegan, even when plants that are carnivorous.
Yeah.
So anyway,
She said no.
that just got on
veggie
my nerves
burger for
watching
her,
that the
huh?
other day. That's right, she did in the comics. She said no veggie burger for
Oh,
me.
did she really? Oh, that's cool.
She's like, I want a bloody steak.
Medium.
So yeah, so her and Wolverine go in there and they. I'm still trying very hard to see why Logan would. Unless he's controlled, and then you're right. If he's controlled, it's not really a team up. It's more like he's a victim. He wouldn't be happy with that, and he is pretty strong-willed.
Right.
I mean, I think he's been manipulated before several times, but
I'm sure the White Queen's been in that head a couple times.
I want to say Apocalypse had engineered him too. Mr. Sinister, some of those guys had messed with him.
Not
I think
that recall.
he was going to be one of the Horsemen. Weren't they trying to do that?
Yeah, that was a storyline somewhere.
And then the whole Weapon X thing where he goes crazy. He's got more mental issues than Batman. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
And can't remember half of them. Maybe that's what it. I don't know.
That-
Maybe it is Wolverine, and he's looking to, beef up his healing factor. So he goes to a place that sells
exotic
concoctions,
herbs.
Exotic herbs. Ivy just happens to be a storefront. He makes friends with her. She likes him. He likes her. Then sees her getting in a tussle with people. It's just like, he doesn't realize it's poison ivy. So he gets sucked in by her and her problems. He's like, I'm good at what I can do, and what I do is not very nice. And she's like, oh, really?
I'm not very nice either.
Yeah. So, like, we get part of the way into the movie before Wolverine figures out he's been duped by Poison Ivy. And then he's like, should I still help? Now I'm in the middle of this fight. Yeah, this seems like the right thing
because
to do.
their interests got to align somehow. So, yeah, maybe whoever's got the weather machine is going to mess up some stuff for the environment, and you know how he feels about nature and bears and all that. He's from
Wolverine
Canada.
likes nature and bears.
Well, I mean, he's from Canada. You know,
And
there's
wolves.
a lot of that stuff around. You know,
It's moose.
you know. So yeah, that's a little. You know, he wants all them
The
things.
moose will starve.
Right.
Stop this.
Berserker Rage.
So he's like, you know, he's one with the animals. So you know, maybe the plants and the animals all in the forest. You know, something there where.
Can Wendigo show up? Because I think it should have one.
Then
It
you got to
should-
get rid of Bane or Mr.
Let's get rid of Bane because I think it needs to have one Wolverine character and one Gotham
okay.
character.
So it's Wendigo.
Wendigo.
Just a wild card. Help.
Poison
I mean-
Ivy and Cheetah then.
Well, no, we need Wendigo because he is going to bite Mr. Freeze at the end.
And turn him into a Snow Beast?
Yes, and he'll run off with the polar bears like at the end of Sub-Zero.
Does he keep his costume?
Off into the sunset.
He's like a Wendigo in big fishbowl helmet.
And the weather machine is broken, so it's permanent freeze in that area.
Ooh.
So who was it that was controlling the weather machine?
Mr. Freeze.
That's right. Okay.
So
The end.
by the time Ivy and Wolverine get to him and unleash the Wendigo, it's already too late.
So we're in our 60s, and we're like, did you hear that they're making a movie about all these characters? That sounds terrible. Should we go see that?
Marvel and DC are working together, making this movie.
I want to
Not
see.
the
I want to see
weather.
the restaurant tie-in marketing on that one. Get your freeze cup. Get your Wendigo.
Buy yours at McDonald's today.
It's your Wendigo cup.
Get your Wendigo Whopper.
Cup topper.
Green Ivy shake.
Get your
It's just the
collectible cup
Shamrock
topper
Shake.
You can get the Impossible Burger
With the
at
green
in,
Green
in your fry box.
Ivy don't want no damn Impossible Burger. I'm gonna die on this hill. I think it makes so much more sense that the eco-terrorist would
And
be a.
French fries that are cooked too long because to represent Wolverine's claws. Just really hard French fries.
Oh,
You only get 3 of them.
Ketchup to dip them in.
it'll probably be better
Mommy
than
lied.
might be better than what Wolverine turns up in the MCU. But that's okay.
All right, that was fun. I'm glad we talked all that through, and I'm glad this will never happen.
We did one earlier. What was
Yes,
that?
but-
Gene Simmons and Jaws.
Yeah.
That one kind of wrote itself though.
Yeah, they all seem to be writing themselves.
Well, no,
We gotta get it really
this
we
one
gotta
took
do
a
another
long
one then.
time. It was pretty easy for Gene to
Let's do
spit
another one.
blood in the water and attract Jaws to save the day.
So,
Oh yeah.
You want to do another one?
Let's do another one. That was fun.
Bruce the Shark. I don't think NECA's going to release that figure.
What's that?
Bruce the Shark. They were going to do him for scale. You know how like those clothed figures that they have?
Yeah.
Well, they got Quint
They were
and
doing a
Hooper.
Tiny Toon version of it.
Well, no, that's out. But I mean, no, they were going to
Tiny
do
Toon.
because you
Yeah, they were doing Richard
Toonie
Dreyfuss figure.
Terrors.
Yeah.
Well, they have a Quint and Hooper figures from Jaws, right?
Uh-huh.
They were going to make a scale version of Bruce. To
Holy
fit the,
shit.
yes, they were going to do that. And it's been years since they've updated this. I think they've forgotten it.
I think I recall hearing about
How
that
big
now.
would that shark be?
Like, there was some prototyping, and it was like, it's just too big.
10 feet long. So they want their guys $500
Put
stick
that
it on
in
the
your
shelf at
Haz
Target.
lab.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's the third one.
Okay. We're going to start again.
Spin the wheel. This is going to be interesting.
Lando Calrissian.
Oh, shit.
So he's going to team up with. Now, this could be any version of Lando Calrissian.
Okay. Well, they're all the same, kind of.
And the Flash. The Flash?
Oh, I've got this. Let's go. Let's go.
Alright. So, alright. Well,
And I know what version of Lando we're using.
So what's going to be the...
Nope, not yet. We ain't done yet.
This is
And
it's a team up or a...
alright, it's a team up.
It's a team
I
up.
was counting on that.
And the secret weapon.
Is it going to be in Cloud City?
Nope.
No? Okay.
No.
Mind control.
Mind control.
Okay. That's pretty easy.
So much confidence. What the hell is that?
They're busting out of jail.
What is this?
They're busting out of jail.
Didn't
There's. What the hell?
look kind of jiggly.
The Grand Mafia is a game. Okay.
You know what I thought that was
That's
at first.
amazing. I did too.
I know it. It's like we
Oh,
found
man, Jason forgot
Jason's
to turn
dad.
it off.
Search history.
But anyway,
So Lando and the Flash.
Lando and the
team
Flash
up.
team up to
to-
stop the mind control machine.
So we
of-
all know a Flash villain that deals with mind control.
Gorilla Grodd.
So are we putting Gorilla Grodd into this? Because you can pick two other characters to help move the story along.
Lando and Boba Fett.
No, we don't need Boba Fett.
We
He's
don't
taking
need
a
Boba-
bath.
All right. Well, then Lando and Leia
Lando and
trying to get.
Jaina. We're taking
We're
Rise.
at the end.
We're taking Rise of Skywalker Lando.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is
All right.
a young Barry. CW
Travels a long time ago
Barry.
in a galaxy far away.
Oh, we're going.
CW Barry has ended up in Rise of Skywalker from the multiverse. And
Did he run there?
yeah, he ran there through the Speed Force.
Okay.
And young Barry always kind of knows what to do, but he needs a pep talk first. And there is nobody better at pep talks than Rise of Skywalker Lando. Every
on
time
in
that
and
somebody needed a moment in that movie, there he was out of nowhere. Everyone's all sad at the
Mando
parade,
wisdom.
and he shows up in that tank-like thing. It's like, hey, it's Lando.
Yeah, Colt 45.
Hey, everybody.
Finn's walking around with his head bowed down, going, I don't think I can do it.
Okay.
Lando shows up out of nowhere.
Need to talk about the movie.
Well, we are.
Not the bad-
I'm explaining how Lando was the source of motivation
So he's going to be the source of motivation for
Barry,
From
who ends up in
CW.
Star Wars
Come
verse.
on, Barry,
He's-
let's run.
So Grodd has gone to the Star Wars verse and taken over the planet of where was Ray from?
Wasn't Jeddah? No. If you know out there, please write in and let us know.
Because Finn would say, "Why does everybody want to keep going back there?" I want to call it Jafar or something like that.
I keep wanting to say Jeddah.
Jeddah. No,
Jeddah was the
planet that was
Rogue One.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's
Tangent.
yeah. So Grodd is going to take over that planet because it's easy pickings for him. He's
So
tired
It's,
of
it's the
he wants
desert.
everybody to think
It's a
they're
desert
going to be
planet.
monkeys then.
yes, and he's going to mind control everyone thinking they're apes
Okay. Again.
and hand out less portions. Than
Two
Umar
and a quarter
want the
portions
for you.
$3.50.
So yes, and Lando is going to be the source of strength for Barry.
But this
So
is
that
a
he'll be
team.
able
He's
to-
just in the
They are
speaker.
teaming
It's
up.
the team up though.
Yeah,
He's teaming up.
No,
He's-
Lando's the guy in the chair.
He ain't gonna have a
Run
taser. Or
faster,
nothing?
Barry.
Yes.
He's gonna have a taser.
He is going to say run
Look
faster,
out,
Barry.
Barry. There's a gorilla.
Barry, you know what I used to tell Leia all the time.
Back when I was hustling cards.
Sleeping with
Right.
spaceship.
How did you all ever do it back then? I just don't think I can win.
Come
That's-
on, Barry. I know you got it in you.
Jakku.
Jakku, yeah, okay.
Yes. Why does everybody want to go back to Jakku? That's where
Why
Grodd's
is
going.
everybody
'cause
on this dirt planet Jakku?
Lando got stuck there after the end of the
I
last
don't think we're in
movie.
Cloud City
I
no
ran
more.
out of gas.
Yeah, because Nine Numb was killed, and so he doesn't.
I don't have my Muppet co-pilot.
It's a trap.
I don't have my sex droid anymore from the prequel.
Yeah,
Well, that was,
she's
ran off the
hardwired
hall.
into the Millennium Falcon.
well,
Ran
that's
up
right.
with
She was
on.
part of the Falcon,
Yep.
Yeah.
and Ray took that. So of course Lando doesn't even get his girlfriend. Ray takes
I ain't
everything.
got a pot to piss in. I'm stuck on this dirt rock with these weird half alien people, half elephant.
They're in a robot inside.
But Lando, why should I
I
care?
don't speak their language and I can't give any advice.
Grodd's too powerful, Lando. You're supposed to be helping me, not his.
I'm sorry, Barry. Let's get back to the
Go
movie.
faster, Barry.
I know
What
you
do I
can
do?
Run
Just
like
keep
you never
running.
ran before.
Think about your dead mama.
do it in,
What would Iris say
do it-
right now?
Do it in 4 clicks.
Iris or Ollie would give me a speech, and then I would feel like
Don't fail them, Barry.
You gotta run faster than the Falcon.
I need you to hit light speed.
Do the castle run in 4 clicks.
by my
Look out.
calculations, if I run this fast, I'll go right through him and send him back into the Speed Force. Then I can see Iris again, but Lando, I won't see you anymore.
It's okay, buddy. Our time has been great. I'll never forget it. All my friends are dead. Except for Chewbacca. And I hadn't seen him because I'm still on this rock.
I miss old Chewie.
Didn't you have that daughter you were going to find out about her past?
I guess that's why I'm on this planet.
Pay my dues.
I don't want to.
She took her
space child support.
She got upset.
The taxes are terrible.
I thought you said all her space horses got killed. They were on the side of the Star Destroyer.
We're gonna start a horse farm on this desert planet. They don't have horses here. They'll probably all die because there's nothing but desert.
They had that big muck monster that was drinking mud puddles.
Yeah, but he was smelly.
Okay, see, that writes itself. Then Flash punches Grodd back through the Speed Force.
I smell Emmy.
They wake up with Iris and what's his name? What's the long-haired kid's name? Who left the show? Vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wake up with them. And everything-
Cisco.
Cisco. That's right.
Where's Cisco?
Now,
Boy,
you think
boy.
this?
That might be my favorite Lando
you think-
now. That's the one thing about Rise of Skywalker. Lando was great.
You think the CW is gonna have this on?
Right now they would. They take this writing over what they have. Well, they don't have anything anymore. All the shows have been canceled.
No more Oliver Queen.
Oh, that's been gone for years.
Yeah, he's been gone.
The Flash has got its last 12 episodes ordered, so they're gonna.
Was it like 9?
I think I stopped on them when he went to prison.
The Flash went to prison.
No,
I quit watching
Green
them
Arrow.
a long time ago.
Arrow. When he-
I can't remember the last time I watched either of them.
Yeah.
They're terrible shows.
yeah, he finds his son or something, and Slade is there, or not Slade Dark. Oh, what's his name?
I want to say I didn't.
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke. Yeah, Deathstroke.
I think even season 2, when he's still on that island,
Yeah.
I started to feel like, this show really isn't very good, but there's nothing else on, so I may as well watch it.
It's like Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, I didn't want this far, so right.
And then eventually got to a point where I think when Felicity took over the show, I just felt like he stopped killing people. It became the group dynamic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Because he felt bad because all them people died.
He felt bad. I
Well-
thought he was on some mission of vengeance to come
That's
back.
how it started off, right?
Yeah.
Around the city.
I'm killing everybody because my dad gave me this book with a bunch of names I can't see in it. Shoot arrows at him.
Yeah, that guy really hasn't done anything since then.
He was in
Ninja Turtles?
he was
Stephen
in
Amell,
wrestling
Yeah,
there for
he
a
was,
second too.
In the second one?
I think he showed up at a
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
he's-
one
Well, I
time.
think the
Jones.
truth is he's just not that great of an actor. He's just adequate. And,
Yes. Has a certain facial hair and certain haircut, and that's all he's done.
and that's enough to get a small role on some things.
Mhm.
But yeah, all those CW shows are awful. See, the Superman and Lois isn't bad though, but
Yeah, the few that I've seen of that I thought were really good.
it is. But it's not enough to get me all like, oh, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
So,
Did y'all like the Legends or
no,
of Tomorrow
terrible.
or whatever it was?
I liked him for a little while, but it's insane. It's just, what are we gonna do this week?
What a team of superheroes, but no one wears costumes or has powers or looks like superheroes.
Yeah.
Essentially, what it became.
So
It started off as actual
teen
comic book.
drama.
Yeah.
Mm,
Well,
yeah.
teen drama with middle-aged adults playing the teens. With a character, a lead character, White Canary, that was killed in season 1 of Arrow.
Yeah.
His character was dead,
Yeah.
and then somehow leads a team. Well, because
Of comic books.
former villains like Heatwave, who isn't a villain, he doesn't even carry a flamethrower. But he's Heatwave. Yeah. That was
not
the
very
worst. So-
Reminded me of how bad this is.
Oh, that was a terrible show.
Yeah.
It reminded me of those old, the syndicated shows you used to watch on the weekends, like Xena,
Mhm.
Hercules,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
there's a Sinbad show.
Yep.
Those Xena was probably the best of those.
That was a spinoff of Hercules, wasn't it?
Yeah, Xena was a spinoff, but
Wasn't there a spinoff of Xena though? Didn't the little blonde girl? Didn't she have her own show?
I don't think
afterward?
so.
I was thinking
Well,
she
they
might
did a
have.
young Hercules later on, where they were just trying to tap
I thought
into
they
that.
said that Sam Raimi's brother, Ted Raimi,
Yeah.
was going to have a Joxer the Mighty series based off of Xena. Remember, he was the comic
Yeah.
foil character. But that's probably a good idea. That never happened.
Just like some of the movies we came up with.
I don't know.
I don't
Which
think
one of
Hollywood's
those
not-
would have been the best? Poison Ivy and Wolverine and the Weather Machine with the Wendigo. That sounds
The
fun.
Wendigo.
Flash and Lando.
I don't know, Flash
Father and
Lando
son,
would be
buddy
pretty
cop.
good. Yeah, buddy
team
Yeah,
cop.
that one's been done too many times. Yeah.
Flash and Lando.
Yeah, I think the Wolverine and Ivy one were probably
Or Gene Simmons and Jaws. Protect the oceans. I kind of want to go see that one.
Oh yeah. It saves sharks.
You talk about VHS memories
Smell
earlier.
nice.
Yeah.
And Kiss Meets the Phantom is absolutely one of my biggest VHS memories. I go into it was at Toys R Us, I think, and I found 2 VHS tapes that they had about the counters. They had Night of the Living Dead, and they had Kiss Meets the Phantom, and I couldn't believe it. I snapped them for like a couple dollars a piece, and brought them home and watched them. I was just totally fascinated with them both. Kiss Meets the Phantom hits all my metrics. Like it's loud rock concerts, it's theme parks, it's animatronics, it's Hanna-Barbera, it's the 70s. It's got so many things
Yeah.
going for it that
This dead man won't die.
that the terrible plot and acting don't matter. And the Canadian version is even better because you get the songs from the solo records on that. And I always thought that was really cool.
They all lose your head over you, Paul.
What's the name? What's the name of the girl? Who's her fiance is Sam, and she keeps walking around.
Yeah.
Have you seen Sam? I can't find Sam. Just like- Oh yeah, they're serenading her while she's still can't find Sam, who's had a chip put into his neck and has become an auto. Devereaux. Yeah, Devereaux was he's awesome, really.
Devereaux.
That guy should have got top billing for the movie. So Kiss Who's the Phantom, which man, we got to go see that in the big screen one day. If they put that into, And then Night of the Living Dead. The copy that I found at Toys R Us was the first time I'd ever seen this movie, and I'm pretty young. And watching this, the first time I'm watching zombies eat people ever. You know, I just saw the Scooby-Doo zombies. I never saw that before.
He said, man, they're actually eating these people, man.
Well, they're, that one scene where they're banging on the side of the house from all the different sides, and Barbara gets pulled out into the horde and we assumed eaten alive, by Johnny, and the rest of them. A little girl stabbing her mother down there in the basement. Man, that movie's something. And so then to take that VHS, when I met the actress who played Barbara, Judith O'Day, and got her to sign that.
Wow.
And I keep it up in my bookcase. It's one of my favorite autographed items that I have. And I told her how
So I watched this movie a bunch of times.
she was like that anime voice actress and one of the sweetest, nicest people I've ever met at one of these conventions. She's one of the people that actually genuinely enjoys talking to people who still give a damn about this work that she did so long ago. And she didn't feel for years that people cared about this stuff. But that's what was fun about VHS. Finding stuff like that.
Yeah.
Taking a chance on movies because you're buying it. It's not like watching it on a Tubi or something where it's...
Yeah. It's just there and you can watch 5 minutes of it and go on to something else if you didn't like it.
Right. You've spent some money, so you're going to...
There's been a few, like over the years, movies, DVDs, and like stuff that I hear about that's supposed to be good, and it's just buying it, and taking that chance, and hopefully.
I still got VHSs that you just don't want to let go of, just something you, like you said, you watched it and 100 times, it entertained you, it was there for you when you needed it the most. You got a bond there.
I've got a clamshell Mask of the Phantasm, Batman Mask of the Phantasm VHS that I bought at a Kroger store when it first came out.
Did you see
I've
it in
never
the theater?
lost it.
The black hard plastic.
Yeah, the big.
Yeah, I got one too.
And it's got a little comic book in it too. And I never lost that over the
Stuart
years.
and I went and saw it when it came out in the theaters at the Showcase Cinemas, and we went. It was like a summer day, and we walked in there, and there was like I think us and like 3 other people were in the theater. And you know how big some of those theaters were way back when. But I remember seeing that for the first time, and I was like already so impressed with Batman because really, I knew Batman, never really truly cared for him, but that series came out, Batman the Animated Series came out, and that made me a Batman fan. I mean, really and truly. And the introduction of all those characters, and that story was so well done.
That was the perfect storm, I believe, because, I mean, everybody kind of knew Batman, but I think that show really made Batman a household name again, You
know what's funny though? I didn't realize this, but I saw this on a toy channel on YouTube lately. That when they put out action figures for that line, they released the Phantasm with her mask off.
Wow.
So the figure had the Andrea Beaumont head showing with the Phantasm mask. So it was a spoiler.
Oh man.
The toy was a spoiler, and in the same way that when I bought the Phantom Menace soundtrack, it had a song on it called Ode to Qui-Gon or Qui-Gon's Demise or something like that. So
I wonder what this is about.
I guess this Qui-Gon dude doesn't survive the movie.
That's a bummer. I see that coming.
But yeah, and I've kept some like the original Star Wars re-releases on VHS. I've got a couple movies that have just never been put on DVD or that don't stream
yeah.
for whatever reason. The ownership issues.
Right.
Light of Day with Michael J. Fox and Joan Jett. I'm a huge Joan Jett fan, so I have to have a VHS copy of that movie. It's the only way to watch it. You can't even watch it on.
I think the old mall rats in some of them Silent Bob movies are like that.
Well, Dogma is one.
Dogma, yeah, yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, it's on DVD.
Yeah,
but
you got to go out of your way to find it.
Yeah, you can't stream it at all. 'Cause of all kinds of issues with the rights. But I did give a whole bunch of them away too, because there's so many times you're gonna pack up stuff and carry it with you.
And right, I don't know how long I've been packing some VHSs. Shit, I got 8 tracks. And even though I got it on album and cassette and CD, it don't matter. I get that 8-track. I remember popping that 8-track into my 8-track player when I was 7 years old and rocking out to it. Something that just says it's my childhood all over it. I guess.
And what's funny is that there are all kinds of artists still putting out cassettes today.
Yes.
I noticed that more and more. Like even Ace Frehley was putting out cassette copies because they know that the collector base.
So you can jam to it when you're driving around in your El Camino.
So you can stick it on a. I don't care what you do with it after you buy it, but they're like.
I finally drive a vehicle now that has a CD player. Like the last vehicle that I had prior to that did not even have a tape player.
Well, no, I don't guess any modern vehicles would.
Remember if you wanted to play your tapes or something, you pop it, or not your CD, from your Walkman, you pop in one of them little tapes in your cassette tape in your car, plug it into your CD
I had
Walkman.
one of those. I had the vibration plate that you could mount your CD player on, so that way we wouldn't, whenever you hit over a speed
bump,
bump,
right, it would jar it,
skip.
I hope these children.
Oh, they get it made. They
appreciate how easy it is to listen to whatever you want to.
So difficult.
Yeah, they get the stuff that we had to go through the rough, hard way, and now they get it. They get it all the easy way now. Oh, we just got a phone. We got all that shit on it.
Well, yeah, everything was a risk. You had to seek things out.
Get a encyclopedia.
Well, you asked the girl at school with all the punk bands written on her jacket if the Sex Pistols were good, and she looks at you like, you never heard them?
Yeah.
And then she brings you in a mixtape the next day.
Ah, the good old mixtape. That's how music
got
I
first
around.
heard the Sex Pistols. I saw a girl in line at the getting Cheez-Its or something.
That's how I first heard Anthrax.
Yeah. I remember a girl who walked around the halls with the Master of Puppets back patch on. And so I
remember borrowing Injustice for All from a guy. And, and making a copy to have those days. And, to return it the next day and give it his copy back. And
you had to make sure you brought it back. And
yeah.
So that was a lot more complicated.
I remember learning how to tape over things by putting pieces of tape
over the
little holes. I had other cassettes or whatever. And it's like, I don't care about this shit anymore, and I can't afford to go buy a tape.
Go buy blank tapes. So you were just taping over.
Oh man, when you got like a brick of blank tapes, you're like,
the
ultimate, party list or whatever.
Had a Captain Tennille tape, and you just taped over it with some new songs. I ain't gonna listen to this no more.
Well, I had a 45 of Stairway to Heaven, and I was trying to put that on a blank tape. But put your records on a blank tape. But yeah,
all the pops and
now there's all the nostalgia for all of that times that were not lived through. But
you used to have to really mechanically work for some of that stuff.
And then if your tape broke, man, then you was playing doctor.
Putting tape on it, trying to make it work.
Man, I've sat at the kitchen table many of nights sitting there trying to put my favorite tape back together because it done wore it out.
Yeah.
And didn't have the $7-8 to go buy another one. You know what I'm saying?
Or you just had what was on the radio then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back when you can listen to the radio and not mind it. Way back when.
You would sit and wait to hear your favorite song to come on it. It's like, man, I know they're gonna play that new song by, Def Leppard or somebody, in a minute. The new one's coming out soon.
Well, the radio controlled the sales charts.
Sure did.
Well, MTV, had a big share in that too.
MTV, big share.
But yeah, now the radio is just there needs to be public airwaves.
Yeah.
There has to be, actually.
Yeah.
There has to be a way to access.
It is sometimes...
For people to be able to access certain information.
Yes.
Regardless of...
I go through stages where I'll listen to the radio, and it's usually just one station, but I'll go through stages of it, and then, here's something new. And just having somebody else play something for you sometimes is like a nice gamble where you go, Jesus, turn it off. That's terrible.
And you want to see what's going to be devastating to our parents' age groups is that the long-running soap opera, Days of Our Lives, I've read is being moved to Peacock streaming.
Wow.
Okay. Moving it to the streaming.
Wow.
My mother, 68 years old. She has watched this show for 40 years.
She could start over.
She's not going to be able to watch it at all because she doesn't understand what streaming is. Look at your age group demographic. Who watches this show? What kind of an idea is that? I guess the choice is get rid of it altogether so they can show more game shows or whatever they show, or put it on streaming. But we'll
throw a news channel in there.
She sat there and I heard her one time talking about, what is streaming? And I thought, you're going to have to learn. She's...
Well, on that note,
learn your streaming.
Don't get old.
Don't get old. It's exactly what this podcast is about.
Keep the pulse beating.
Yes.
I always have an open mind.
Well, thank you for listening. Come back. There's always going to be more because we don't know when to stop.